All right, good morning, guys. Good day, whatever time you're looking at this. I guess could be good night. All right, so we're going to be starting our second unit. It's called Powers and Exponents. So we've started with a little activity in class. This is going to be where we start with the notes. But before we really get too far into this, I just want to touch on one thing that we did regarding the test. And this is also going to help us with kind of everything we do with exponents. We're going to be multiplying a lot of positive and negative numbers together, so it's going to be really, really important to understand when your answer is going to be positive and when your answer is going to be negative. So it's going to be a bit of a recap. I know I already talked about this, but the test kind of showed that we're not super solid on this. So we're going to do a little practice. I'm going to do a quick explanation, and then we'll get going into our full unit. Okay, so the two main things to keep in mind. This works when multiplying and dividing. So multiplying and dividing integers. And integers are just really positive and negative numbers. Integers. Okay, so this does not work when adding and subtracting, only multiplying and dividing integers. Okay, and so the one rule that I told you, in the past you're told like two wrongs, two negatives make a positive, that type of thing. If it's odd and even, like that type of stuff. I like to stick with the odd and even because we're going to be looking at potentially 9 numbers that are multiplying one another, and to try and like figure it out one by one is really slow and time consuming. If we can count to 9, we know 9's an odd number, and we know it would be a negative answer likely if we're talking about positives and negatives. So first step is to determine the sign. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at. So step 1, determine the sign. If it is an odd number of negatives, sometimes I'll write negative like that just because I'm lazy. As I said, mathematicians can be a little lazy at times. Right, so one example would be if we're multiplying a positive times a negative times a positive. Okay, there's an odd number of negatives, so our answer will be negative. Doesn't matter what the number is. Could be 100, could be 100 million, could be 0.00001, right? It doesn't matter as long as we're looking at the sign. So you can even forget about the numbers, multiply those after. Just start with the negative or positive signs. Okay, so that's all for that. And then even. We have an even number of negatives or no negatives. Our answer will be positive. Equals negative, sorry, I should add that. And both of these equal a positive. Okay, so an example could be a negative times a positive times a negative times a positive. That answer will be positive. Great job, guys. Awesome. Okay, so that's really all I'm going to touch on for this. The next 2 activities, I'll put the answer key up later. It's just multiplying integers. Lots of examples because we really need to be pretty concrete on this. Okay, so there's 2 pages. The answer key is listed over here. I think it's the same for in your notes. If not, I'll be posting the answers anyway. Just make sure you understand it. I'm just going to go with the positives and the negatives because the numbers don't matter too much. I really need to see just if you understand what the sign will be, how you punch 5 times 4 times 4 times 5 into a calculator. Like, I think we can handle that. Okay, so I'm going to stop right now, and I'll see you guys in a bit when we start Unit 2.